I want you to imagine a woman named Evelyn. Evelyn is 67 years old, living in a quiet suburb of Chicago. When I first met her, she wasn't walking, she was shuffling. Every step was a calculated risk. Her knees didn't just hurt, they screamed. She told me, with tears in her eyes, that her daughter was already looking at assisted living facilities because Evelyn could no longer get up the 3 steps to her own front porch. The diagnosis from her previous specialists? Bone on bone. They told her she was a candidate for total knee replacement, but due to a heart condition, she wasn't a good candidate for surgery. She felt trapped in a body that was rusting away. But today, if you visited that same porch in Chicago, you'd see Evelyn gardening. She's independent. She's active. And most importantly, she is pain-free. How did she do it? It wasn't a miracle drug. It wasn't a $100 bottle of supplements. It was a simple, natural method, a specific nutritional shield, that 97% of doctors completely overlook because they are trained to look for a prescription pad, not a grocery list. Today, I'm going to guide you through the exact science of how Evelyn rescued her cartilage, and how you can do the same starting with your very next meal. But before we dive into the what, I need to know who I'm talking to. If you are over 50, if you're an office worker who feels that stiff knee ache after sitting for an hour, or if you're a new mother experiencing that postpartum joint laxity, I want you to pause right now. Go down to the comments and type your age and your primary symptom. Just write something like 55, stiff knees in the morning, or 42, grinding sound when I squat. I read these comments because they help me understand the specific biological rust we are fighting together. You see, most people think joint pain is just getting old or bad genetics. I'm here to tell you that after 30 years in medicine, I've seen that it's usually not your age. It's a deficiency in one very specific, powerful nutrient that acts like armor for your cartilage cells. For those who are new here, I'm Dr. David Thompson. On this channel, our mission is simple: to help you reclaim your independence and live a vibrant, drug-free life through the power of evidence-based nutrition. I've spent 3 decades in the trenches of clinical practice. I've seen the side effects of long-term painkiller use, the kidney issues, the stomach lining erosion. I knew there had to be a better way for my patients. And after reviewing thousands of clinical trials and treating over 10,000 patients, I've found that the most powerful pharmacy in the world isn't behind a counter. It's in your kitchen. How do you know if your cartilage is actually under attack? Let's do a quick 30-second joint audit. I'm going to list 5 common symptoms. I want you to count how many of these apply to you. 1. The morning crank. Your knees feel like they need WD-40 for the first 10 minutes after you wake up. 2. The cinema sign. You feel a dull ache or stiffness in your knees after sitting for a long time, like at a desk or in a movie theater. 3. The pop and grind. You hear crepitus, that crunching or popping sound, when you climb stairs or squat. 4. Weather sensitivity. You can actually feel a storm coming because your joints throb when the barometric pressure drops. 5. Post-activity swelling. Your knees look slightly puffy or feel thick after a long walk or a day of chores. How many did you get? Comment that number below: 1, 3, or all 5. If you have even 2 of these, you are likely suffering from what I call molecular rust. In medical terms, this is chronic low-grade inflammation combined with oxidative stress. Imagine your cartilage is like a smooth, wet sponge. This rust dries out the sponge and starts tearing pieces off. But the real villain isn't just wear and tear. It's a specific group of enzymes in your body that have gone rogue and are literally eating your cartilage for breakfast. Now, let's talk about the solution. Most people reach for glucosamine or chondroitin, but the science on those is hit or miss at best. Instead, I want to introduce you to a food that acts like a biological brake on cartilage destruction. The food, broccoli, specifically, broccoli sprouts and mature broccoli. Now, I know what you're thinking. Dr. Thompson, broccoli? That's it. Stay with me, because the way this works at a molecular level is more powerful than any pharmaceutical I've prescribed for joint maintenance. Take Mark, a 58-year-old heavy machinery operator. Mark's knees were so inflamed he could barely press the pedals on his equipment. He was 3 weeks away from taking a permanent disability leave. We didn't change his meds. We simply had him add 100 grams of this green shield to his daily routine, prepared in a very specific way. After just 4 weeks, the markers of inflammation in his joint fluid dropped significantly. By week 6, he was back to working full shifts and even started coaching his grandson's soccer team. He told me, "Doctor, I feel like I've replaced the shocks on my truck." Why broccoli? It's all about a compound called sulforaphane. Think of your knee joint as a construction site. Normally, you have builder cells, chondrocyte, and demolition cells. In a healthy knee, they are in balance. But as we age or face stress, the demolition cells release enzymes called metalloproteinases, MMPs. These MMPs act like a molecular acid that dissolves the collagen matrix of your cartilage. Sulforaphane is like a security guard that enters the cell and locks the door so these MMP enzymes can't get out. It blocks the signaling pathway, specifically the NF-kappa B pathway, that triggers inflammation. In simple terms, while most supplements try to rebuild the house while it's still on fire, sulforaphane puts out the fire so the rebuilding can finally happen. This isn't just folk medicine. A landmark study published in the journal Arthritis and Rheumatism, 2013, by researchers at the University of East Anglia found that sulforaphane slowed down the destruction of cartilage in laboratory models. They specifically showed that it blocked the enzymes that cause joint destruction. Lead researcher Professor Ian Clark noted that this could be a powerful way to prevent or even treat osteoarthritis naturally. Now, listen closely, because how you eat this food matters more than how much you eat. If you just boil broccoli until it's mushy, you are killing the medicine. 1. The chop and wait rule. Sulforaphane isn't actually in the broccoli yet. It's created when two compounds, glucoraphanin and an enzyme called myrosinase, mix. This happens when the plant is attacked, or in your case, chopped. Chop your broccoli into small florets and let them sit on the cutting board for 40 minutes before cooking. This allows the enzyme to pre-activate the sulforaphane. 2. The light steam method. Never boil. Boiling leaches the nutrients into the water. Instead, steam your broccoli for no more than 3 to 4 minutes. It should still be bright green and have a snap to it. 3. The mustard seed trick. If you must cook it longer, or if you're using frozen broccoli, which has been blanched, the heat has likely destroyed the myrosinase enzyme. You can reactivate it by adding a sprinkle of dry mustard powder or raw daikon radish to your cooked broccoli. These contain the raw enzyme needed to unlock the cartilage-protecting sulforaphane. 4. Golden time. For my patients, I recommend consuming this during the midday meal.
Why?
Because your joints face the most mechanical stress in the afternoon and evening. You want that molecular shield circulating in your blood when you're most active. 5. The fat factor. Like many phytonutrients, sulforaphane is better absorbed when paired with a healthy fat. Drizzle your steamed broccoli with a little extra virgin olive oil or serve it alongside some avocado. Have any of you tried the chop and wait method before, or did you grow up eating that mushy gray broccoli we all remember from school cafeterias? Let me know in the comments. I promise, once you prepare it this way, not only does it work better, it tastes like a completely different vegetable. To summarize, your knee pain isn't a death sentence for your independence. By neutralizing those demolition enzymes with the sulforaphane found in broccoli, you are giving your cartilage a fighting chance to heal. Remember Evelyn? She didn't have a miracle gene. She simply stopped the molecular rust from eating her joints by making this one food a non-negotiable part of her life. My final advice: don't wait for the bone-on-bone diagnosis to start. Even if your knees only ache a little bit, that is your body's check engine light. Address it now with the power of your fork. If you found this helpful, please hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon. My next video is going to cover the 3 healthy drinks that are actually dissolving your bone density, and you won't want to miss that. I'm Dr. David Thompson. Eat well, move often, and stay independent. I'll see you in the next video.